Beautiful.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. This is a special interview episode on the channel today. I have the pleasure of interviewing Sam Renick. Sam is the creator of Sammy Rabbit. So if you're a 10 Talents client today, awesome. If you're a 10 Talents client and you have younger children, so typically 12 and under, 10 and under. I've sent you Sammy's Big Dream, the copy of it right here. We got a copy of Sammy's Big Dream right here. You've got the storybook, hopefully the coloring book. And so what I wanted to do today is just interview Sam and learn more about Sammy Rabbit. Why is this topic of financial literacy so important? And then what's he up to, right now? So Sam, let's get it started. Maybe just share with us a little bit about your background and how did you come up with Sammy Rabbit?
First, thank you, Caleb, and the 10 Talents family. It's Sammyrific to be with everyone today. That's two thumbs up for everybody. Translates perfectly into Spanish and all other languages. Thanks for asking, Caleb. I guess I'm kind of a crazy guy. This is my third career, my first entrepreneurial venture. I started off in aerospace, which is kind of ironic because I have a hard time screwing in a light bulb. But I was on the business side, and it turned out to be a big benefit. Little did I know, to Sammy the Rabbit, who was still like 20 years away from being birthed, so to speak. And the reason it was important is because being in this aerospace environment, we were a high technology company. I learned a lot about how you develop ideas, take them out of your head and turn them into real things, even bunny rabbits. And
Okay.
so imaginary fictional bunny rabbits, that is. And so I did that, really enjoyed it for about 12 years. And one of the things that I did that I learned later that was really a smart thing to do, that has also helped be a part of the inspiration for the Sammy the Rabbit, is from the moment I started working professionally, which for me was around the age of 21, I started an automated savings and investment account. And
Wow.
as all good bunnies know, if you do that, your money and carrots will grow and grow and grow. And so from aerospace, I was at a turning point in my life and decided to try something new. I thought a lot about it, and to tell you the truth, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to try something new, and I had an opportunity to do it. And I believe a lot in saving and investing and these automated savings and investment programs. So I thought I'd hop into financial services.
So
And I, yeah,
when did you start that? When did that
that
begin?
was like roughly in 92, 93, somewhere in there. So I started working in aerospace roughly in 80, then 92, somewhere around there. I got into financial services.
Okay.
Probably didn't do it the right way, if there is a right way. And I largely didn't like it, but there were a few things I did enjoy. One is I enjoyed having conversations with people, which in my case was largely families. Many of them were in their 30s, like I was, some in their 40s, and they had young children, many of them.
Sure.
And I was having all these conversations, and it was almost like doing research. And I was discovering people were sharing with me just repeatedly. I'm sure this happens to you to some extent. People were sharing their regret and their despair
Right.
for not starting savings and investment plans earlier, and for not having learned maybe a little bit more, a lot more about money when they were kids. And
Right.
so I heard that repeatedly for maybe 7 or 8 years. And it was stunning to me because I guess I kind of grew up in a magical bubble. I grew up in what I now lovingly like to refer to as upper poverty.
Okay.
And this is back in the 60s. Upper poverty meant I had my brother's hand-me-downs clothes. I
Okay.
never I never missed a meal, but we had zero discretionary income.
Okay.
So I didn't have Air Jordans. Of course, they weren't around then, but the Converse was the thing. And oh my goodness, I wish I could have had a pair of Levi's. Never had a pair of Levi's. That was late in my teens. Things like that. So, but I was very fortunate in the sense that my father, primarily, but my mother to some extent also, he talked to us a lot about this thought that if we worked hard and made good money choices, we could have anything we wanted.
Wow.
So even though we were constrained and he and my mom were not giving us everything we wanted,
Right.
if we worked hard, got an education, one day we could get everything we wanted. And for some reason, I bought into that. He was from the Midwest, but I grew up in Los Angeles, so this was all happening in Los Angeles.
Okay.
He'd often refer to something he called Midwest common sense.
Probably not so common.
Okay, it's not common anywhere, but particularly in Los Angeles. All right.
Yeah.
We're here neighbors with Hollywood, so
yeah,
we're in a make-believe world. But what I was so that was part of why I started saving and investing right when I started working professionally, because hey, that's common sense. That's what you do.
Right.
Now you fast forward 12 years, I'm talking to people in all these financial conversations, and what I'm discovering is very few people are saving and investing regularly, if at all.
Right.
And then many of them are like, oh, I wish I had learned about this, when I was a kid or younger, et cetera, et cetera. One day, and this was something that I also enjoyed in financial services, I was at the small boutique firm, and they'd have these weekly training sessions where they'd bring in these very seasoned professionals.
Okay.
And our firm was independent, meaning we could represent any product, and we were selling products, mainly retirement products, mutual funds, sometimes those kinds of products for college education and things of that nature. So these people, they'd come in every Friday, and one day, I might be in year 6 or 7. This gentleman shows up, and he has an Etch-a-Sketch and a bubble blower. And I'm like, okay, I've got to know what is he up to? What is his angle? And basically, he was encouraging us to think long term.
Okay.
Establish college savings accounts for our clients. I was already doing that, and his premise on doing that, there really wasn't. You wouldn't really make a lot of money at that time doing that unless you were transferring large sums of money.
Sure.
Mostly what we were doing was setting up $25, $50, $100, $200 a month regular deposit type accounts.
Okay.
And so there isn't really a lot of money, but what you're doing is you're doing the right thing. All right. That's one thing you're doing, but then you're also sending a message to the people you're in it for the long haul. So his angle was, every time you do this, give out a bubble blower and Etch-a-Sketch. And so that really just got me thinking. It catalyzed, it accelerated my thinking and reflection on all these conversations I had, and my own experience. And I must have thought about this for maybe 5 or 6 months, and started thinking, wow, you know what? It'd be great if someone created a service that would offer some kind of financial education and maybe a little goodie for children, but that communicated some kind of financial knowledge. And so then I started thinking, I asked myself a question, if I could only share one personal finance concept with a child or an adult, what would it be? What would it be? And so I thought a lot about that, and I finally concluded, I just thought of my own experience, and I thought, the most important really decision that I made was to set up these automated savings and investment accounts.
Yeah.
What some people refer to as paying yourself first.
Sure.
By doing that, I was doing that. Paying myself first, paying myself automatically.
Yes.
And so you're essentially, what I now would tell people, you're putting yourself on the path to greater financial security, greater financial stability, greater financial independence and freedom, wellness, all those things. So you want to prioritize saving and investing, which is building your future.
Right.
You know, this is another important thing it says to a child. This is, you know, maybe some of the psychology of money is that if you're saving for them, and more importantly, they're saving for themselves, what it means is we think you have a future.
Yes, yes.
Because that's, you know, that's one of the big reasons why you do that. I think that's a really important esteem and confidence building message to
Yes.
share with children. Besides, you know, of course it's fun seeing your coins or dollar bills grow and grow and grow,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, I found, because of what happened to me personally
Yes.
with my own parents, and then my actualizing their guidance, implementing it, that was something that I started thinking, you know what? This is something I can be excited about, and maybe this is even my purpose in
Right.
life. All right?
Right.
I was now about 40, and so I was thinking more also about, like, you know, what is my real purpose? Why am I here? And so I thought, you know what, let me, you know, I'm a strong believer in reading, so I thought, let me see if I can create a storybook that communicates a message about saving and investing automatically.
Sure.
I kind of frame that under this slogan: saving is a great habit.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so I kind of translated it a little bit. One thing, typically young kids, and I'm very interested in trying to reach young kids. I'm interested in reaching everybody, but I think, you know, Sammy believes in habits. One of the things our materials do is they place a strong emphasis on habit formation.
Yes.
That's why saving is a great habit, giving is a great habit, spending smart is a great habit, earning is a great habit. So we believe in the power of habits, and so you're going to find that message in the book that you thank you for sharing Sammy's Big Dream, and in our first book, It's a Habit, Sammy Rabbit. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to see if I can create a story book, and because of my experience in aerospace, I said I can do it. It's not a big deal. It's basically, all development is essentially a recipe, just like you would use for cooking. It's a formula.
Sure.
You come up with a prototype, test the heck out of it, see what's working, what's not working, tweak it up, and then you go out and do, you know, that's hard, but what may even be harder is now marketing whatever that service, or
right, getting the word. You got to get the word out. Yeah, you got to get distribution. So I have a question here. So you create Sammy Rabbit. What age? Like, you talk about young children, like what age do these money habits start?
Okay, that's a great question, you know, and that's really the subject of much discussion. So there's some research that indicates, look, your adult money habits are set by age 7.
Wow.
Your adult money habits are set by age 7. But when you get deeper into, you know, neural networking and habit formation and all these things, you know, some people believe that the beginning of that process is when children are still in the womb. All right.
Wow.
That they're picking up sound and vibrations, moods and attitudes. Probably some of those attitudes are even about money, because you're like, oh my goodness, how are we going to pay the hospital bills?
Right.
And the baby's in there shaking like an earthquake, which we have in California. It's like, well, they heard the word money, and they go, oh no.
Yeah.
But certainly, look, once they're born, when you think about kids, you know, besides sleeping, when their eyes are open, they're watching and observing. So they're taking information in, and their ears, they're also hearing and taking information in that way, and they're picking up on feelings, attitudes, emotions, even thinking. Now, they can't really articulate what's being data dumped in there,
right?
But all the research is showing it's happening. So when a kid gets to be, say, 3 or 4, they can start expressing some ideas. Like, you know, if you say, oh, here's a dime or a dollar, which would you prefer? Even at 3 or 4, there's a good chance they're going to go for the dollar. Now, they might not be able to explain exactly why, but it tells you something's happening inside their
Right.
head that's leading that to that decision. Or if you say, I'm going to give you $1 or $5, what are you going to do with it? They might say, I'm going to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Right. Right.
So that tells you they're starting to form a relationship or an attitude with money.
Yes.
Now in the environment we live in, 99% of the messages, whether they're coming from parents, whether they're coming from extended family members, or they're coming from television, computers, radio, whatever it is, the messages about money are going to be about consuming. All right.
Right.
So there's a better chance if you ask your child, what does saving mean? There's a better chance they're going to associate saving with saving money, spending less, than they are saving money, accumulating, building wealth, stability, security, things of that nature. Because as in all languages, but especially the English language, one word can have many meanings.
Right.
So if you're thinking, where are they getting exposed to the word save? Probably the two most likely places are, say, through some type of advertisement. Oh, save money, buy this, it's on sale today. There's a lot of that messaging going on.
Sure.
Then they might pick it up, say, in a children's book or something like save meaning rescue. Oh, the hero rescued the people in distress or something like that. Now, 1 out of 10 kids, maybe 2 out of 10 kids, maybe their parents have already established, they've got a little savings jar or piggy bank or savings envelopes in their room. So maybe they're getting that exposure.
Right.
Even if they are, you need to continually reinforce it, and then you need to build on it. So look, you want to get this process ideally started sometime before age 7. You can get it started as early as birth, believe it or not,
okay.
or maybe age 2, age 3, age 4. So like one fun thing I think you could do, say, with the toddler in their baby chair, and you're making funny faces at them, get a glass that's you can see through, transparent. Drop a penny in there, maybe drop 2, and then shake it like a rattle and say, Kaleb and the Paddocks, we love to save. So now you're bringing a positive joy.
Yes.
Or we love, you draw a little picture on there with a marker.
Yes.
It's erasable. We love to budget. Or you put a little arrow. We love to map out our money.
Yes.
These little short slogans. Look, that only takes 1 or 2 seconds. Maybe do it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
That takes 10 seconds. Then move back to whatever you're normally doing. So these are little simple, very easily executable things that parents can do. Now, if you're reading stories, weave in a storybook that has a message on a personal finance concept or value you want your kids to pick up on. Okay. So for like 2 and 3 and 4 year olds, we have It's a Habit, Sammy Rabbit.
Yes.
When they get to be 6 or 7, Sammy's Big Dream. And then there's a lot of other wonderful books out there as well. Something Sammy Rabbit also has, a lot of, and thank you, 10 Talents is helping to provide these to everyone out there, is a Dream Big Resource Hub.
Yes.
And on that Sammy Dream Big Resource Hub, we have a lot of Sammy music. And so
making it fun through music, eating, stories.
Stories, songs, making it fun.
Yeah.
Get the kids to engage with you, whether it's clapping their hands,
yes.
singing the words, having a discussion, when they're ready. My main point related to that music is a lot of that music, or at least some of it, 3-year-olds might like it. And then other parts, 5-year-olds, 8-year-olds, there's a wide variety in that resource hub. So you want a whole variety of methods of reinforcing ideas, including piggy banks, saving banks, games, etc., etc.
Hey, I found myself just humming along to that YouTube video. I'll link to it in the show notes or in the
please do
the main section to the YouTube video of get in the habit.
All right, yeah.
You know, and you just find
Saving
yourself
money
humming
all the
along.
time.
So, you know,
Okay, that song is infectious.
yes,
It will get stuck in your head.
yeah,
But it's not just fun, it's purposeful, okay?
yes,
Get in the habit. Like Sammy Rabbit, saving money all the time. You can do it, Kaleb.
yeah,
Now get to it.
yes,
From every dollar, save a dime.
yeah,
And if you do, later in the song it says you can watch your money grow and grow and grow.
right,
You know, and so that's a fun thing and a great payoff. So it communicates in a very fun way,
yes,
a lot of powerful
yes,
information on personal finance, financial well-being, and that message is essentially the same message that Warren Buffett has on saving. Warren says save before you spend. All right, and so that's the power of that message. I'd love to see Warren sing it as well as you did, Kaleb. Thank you.
I don't know how good that was, but I think that's important because people hear that phrase, even as adults, pay yourself first. And I think it's as simple as what you described is instead of starting with like, well, I got rent or a mortgage. Well, I got a car payment. Well, I got, no. We start with that save and invest at the top, and then you can pay mortgage, rent, car payment from what's left over instead of the other way around. So I think that habit is so powerful as a young child to just kind of be like, well, I'm working off the $9 instead of working off the 10 because it's human nature. There won't be anything left.
That's right. Okay, that's right. And that's kind of what my research has reflected.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head. So going back to my food analogy, prioritizing your saving and investing, paying yourself first, that's a winning recipe. The other approach is a non-winning recipe. In the old days, we called it a losing recipe.
Sure.
Now it's just a non-winning
Right.
recipe, because what happens inevitably is you hit it. You always find more. Oh, we need this. We need that. I got to have this. I got to have that.
Yeah.
And you just never really get to saving and investing. So, but what does happen a lot is if you do prioritize it and you automate it, you start living on $9, as you said, and that just becomes your habit, your way of behavior.
Yeah.
It isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
That is a powerful win. People who do that. Now, listen, I want to share this point also related to kids in particular. One of the biggest benefits. Now, we started with the idea that the most important thing you could teach a child is to save. This is a child, all right? Let me say it's also a very powerful behavior for an adult or a teen,
Sure.
but a child. And that was for a few reasons. One, it's something they can do. They can start with pennies,
Yeah.
and put it in their own savings jar, piggy bank, whatever it is. But when you're teaching a kid to save, beyond the idea that you're helping them create a foundation, the habits for financial success,
Sure.
you're teaching them to delay gratification.
Right.
You're teaching them when you learn to save, you're learning to delay gratification. You're instilling discipline. I've read a lot about success in every field in life. Every recipe includes the ability to delay gratification.
Right. Well, you see that in the workplace where you'll have younger people today. It's very common to work 6-9 months and just get frustrated and feel like I'm not making a difference. This company sucks, and they change jobs instead of kind of putting in the time to really invest in that company, that role. Or if you're starting a business, right, you're going to need to put in more than 6 months. You know, it's going to take longer. So I think that ties back to delaying gratification. Like it's not possible to have every single desire immediately, and so it's just not. We have to set up some boundaries, right? Because it's not possible to just kind of kick everything into gear all at once.
Kaleb, you only need to do that if you want to have more success versus less. All right? if it doesn't matter to you, then
Well,
no need to do it.
I love in the Sammy's big dream here. I love how you tie like this emotional, he does spend money, but he also has some money left over. He's able, one of my favorite parts of Sammy's Big Dream is how he helps Jammer with,
Oh yeah.
so I think just the power of, guess what? If you have nothing, you can help no one. And so instead of demonizing creating wealth, we show it as no, no, no. It's the people who have wealth. It's the people that have more than they need through discipline. They are in the position, in the story, to say, hey, Jammer, guess what? I can help you go. Like, I'm gonna extend a hand to help you. I'm in the position to do that because of these habits. And so I think that's one of my favorite parts of the book is just being able to extend a hand, because if you're living that paycheck to paycheck, it's not just bad for you in that you have to kind of rely on others for handouts or seek that out, but you're unable to go beyond, right, to that next step.
Exactly.
And being just, so I love that kind of subtle message, in the material.
Well, I want to give you the Sammy Circle round of applause. I'm going to do it both ways because, there's a lot of P words I really love, and positioning is one of them. So you hit the nail on the head. You're better positioned to give responsibly and to sustain your giving.
Absolutely.
When you have these financial habits. And so Sammy believes in giving and thinks giving is a great habit. And not only are you helping other people, you're building esteem and all this other stuff. I'll never forget this one day, and I don't know if this was 30 years ago. I heard Mother Teresa talking, and she said, the best thing that a young person can do to help society and help other people is not come to India. It's to become self-sustaining. All right. and I had never thought of that's a gift to humanity. That's one less person to have to worry about or care for or subsidize. And
Absolutely.
she said, once you do that, then work, say, from your family outward.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I guess there's a lot of young people, especially they're like, oh, I'm going to save the world. And, first of all, they may not even be positioned and prepared to save themselves, let alone saving the world.
Yes.
But I really hadn't, put that into perspective, what you're doing for humanity, because this has been a major struggle, for all human existence.
Right.
Now it's still a struggle, but for some of us, it's not as big of a struggle as it used to be, and hopefully we continue to improve that trend.
So I wanna wrap up with talking about what you're doing currently with.
Okay.
But before we do that, I'm gonna say a couple things here. So if you're watching this, thank you for your attention this far. Love that you're watching the video. I'm gonna include links in the bottom of this video. It'll be primarily on the YouTube channel. So scroll below, expand the text section, and you'll see links. One of the links I'd like to do, I'm gonna share my screen briefly. Sam was very generous to include an interview style article. Okay, this is an interview of myself, giving, budgets, bottle caps, and more. You'll learn a little bit about myself, a little bit about my background, some of my first jobs, money memories, picking raspberries, valuable lessons in college, kind of how this played through. So I'll include a link to that. I also want to make sure we're going to include links to that resource page that Sam mentioned. We'll include a link to the YouTube music video for, get in the habit like Sammy Rabbit, saving money all the time. So use the links below. I just want to call that out. And if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified of great interviews and content like this. So Sam, as we close out, what are you working on currently? And how can folks watching learn more, and what links, or give me some websites of things that we can put in the show notes, and what's going on right now?
All right. Come to SammyRabbit.com, SammyRabbit.com, and check out the Money School. All right. That's what we're working on right now. So this is going to be a 724, 365 place where people can come anytime to learn about money. And right now we're at the first level of development. It's almost like a real estate development. Yep. So we're putting in all the programming, or the beginning phases of programming for kids. And we've got a lot of unique programming there, like our all-star reader program. So Kaleb, I want to invite you officially and all your audience, if they'd like to be an all-star Sammy reader, we welcome you. Just contact me. Funny money sentences. So this is a way to start learning the language of money. So we'll give you words like save, and now challenge you. Can you make a silly or funny money sentence with the word save? We're going to have something that's up there right now called the Dream Big Journal. So these, we want kids to build their own Dream Big journals, identify their dream. Could be a financial dream, it could be a career dream, could be an education dream, whatever it is. And then we're going to be giving them exercises and prompts of asking them, you know, what step can you take today, or what book can you read today, write a sentence, or listen to a song. We're going to have music there, even and the ones that are on your Dream Big resource hub. So the Money School is what's happening. We're very excited about it. This is going to be global. I was just talking to people in Malaysia last week, and they were singing "Get in the Habit" also.
Going global. You know,
well, yeah, this is the way. So come visit us, and then if you've got ideas, suggestions, you know, please send them to me. We're always looking for ways to improve. And then, as you mentioned, thank you for sharing the article that we did with you. This Childhood Money Memories is one of our series, one of the ways that we like to raise awareness on the importance of early age financial education through stories like your bottle cap story. People have a lot of great stories. Some are really like, oh, wow, they did learn to be a saver, or learned about earning money early, or sometimes they didn't. But they tell that story. So this is a great vehicle for sharing stories and knowledge. And anybody out there who has a story is welcome to participate. Okay. And we're going to turn this into a show on the Money School eventually. I hope you'll be one of my first guests, Kaleb. Sure. Yeah, we may call it Childhood Money Memories, or we're thinking about marshmallow money stories.
Okay, nice. Yeah, referencing that famous marshmallow study.
So that's there's a lot more, but that's the big thing that's happening right now. We're really excited about it, and just like you, we think bringing a joy to financial discussions, financial literacy, budgeting is super important. It doesn't have to be a drag. It doesn't have to be a burden. What it's really about, as I said earlier, is helping to create more financial security, stability, freedom in your life, and yes, even making dreams and big dreams come true.
Wonderful. Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, thank you, Sam, for coming on the program, for being so generous with your time. We're going to wrap up the video, but again, check out the links below this video, and I hope you use the resources. One comment I'll make that I thought of while you were doing this, we'll close with, there's a lot of folks homeschooling as a result of the pandemic. You know, I'd really encourage you as a parent or grandparent watching this, incorporate some of these links. The Sammy Money School, if you're going to be homeschooling, throw a little 30 minutes of Sammy Rabbit curriculum into the program a few days a week to kind of get in the habit of learning, you know, more about money, get your kids comfortable talking about money. And who knows, maybe this will be the highlight of their school day, you know, listening to the songs and learning what Sammy has to say. But thank you, Sam, again, and goodbye, everyone.